welcome everybody to the Onward VR Master League Season 13, Week 13 Venue Showcase. My name is Nightfire with two E's. I will be your lone conductor in today's journey through the top of the EU, or at least close to it. Today we're going to be jumping into Rome versus Disorient Elite X, two teams that you should be familiar with, although maybe not with Disorient Elite X being created new to this season. I don't think they've had any match cast except for one of their early matches against Aging Moss where they lost. Since then, they have been battling for a chance to get up into that top 8 in the EU ladder, ranked 12th currently. Rome is ranked 15th in that ladder, and so both teams vying for a chance to advance ever closer to that top 7, where they will be auto-qualifying into the postseason for their region. And so definitely a lot on the line to be competing for here this afternoon, and I expect these two teams to really give it their all when they do dive into this battle. If you are wondering what you're tuning into for, this is Onward. It's a 5 versus 5 military simulator. The attacking team, the blue team, the Marsoc team, attacks the objective. If they get within a certain radius, they enter that code in and capture the objective. Search and destroy style game mode that you're familiar with other shooters. The defending team, the Volk team, the orange team, is defending the objective and trying to eliminate the opposing team or survive for the total time limit of 6 minutes each round, where they will then get 1 point. And so first to 4, we play 3 maps, and that's what you see beneath me is the ban pick phase of the maps. Each team gets to ban a map. The home team, Rome, gets to ban the first map. They will be banning Subway. The away team, Disorient Elite X, bans the second map. They ban Bazaar. And then the home team gets to pick the first map, and they pick Cargo. Looking at the statistics of both Rome and Disorient Elite X and at these bans, it looks like bans of strengths against their opponent. Rome is pretty good at Bazaar, Disorient Elite X with a nice win rate on Subway. In addition, they do tend to play the close quarters maps a little bit more often, so stuff like Cargo, Suburbia, Bazaar, Quarantine. I don't think we're in store for a Snow Peak or an Abandon this afternoon, but that could be on the table. Downfall maybe. But I think today is, even despite these two close-range bans, the reason they were banned is because both teams are good on them in close range. And so I think we're going to stick to sort of a close-range theme here, potentially this afternoon. I'm not going to put all my eggs in that basket because you know where Disorient Elite X will take us for map number 2. But Cargo is where we are headed to kick things off, and that is a close quarters map, a map that really does is I think the smallest map that Onward has, at least in the Season 13 map pool rotation. I think we actually I don't know if we've had smaller maps than Cargo before. I mean, sure, there is a or custom map or two that are smaller, but in the league play, even when we had custom maps, I don't think there was a map as small as Cargo. It was Arctic. I think that was a little bigger than Cargo, in my opinion. Not by a lot, though. Anyway, arguably the smallest map, depending on who you're talking to. But definitely in store for some quick pace action here this afternoon between these two teams. We are just waiting on the 5ths to connect in for both sides. And I'm just giving the message now that once the teams are ready, we will be diving into round number 1. But for now, we wait on the 5ths of both sides for Rome and Disorient Elite X. I wonder if we may end up getting into a 4v4. That would certainly be interesting, but I won't dive into that questioning until we get closer to the forced start time, which is, I believe, about 10 minutes from now, when round 1 has to start according to the rules. I think both teams can agree that they don't have to start if they're both waiting for players. But I'm not sure. They might have to take a timeout. Regardless, we're approaching the moment where action should be unfolding in front of our very eyes. But for now, we just wait for the teams to log into the lobby and then get prepared for the close quarters action on Cargo. This does give me a good time, to remind everyone that is tuning in here this afternoon that there is going to be a lot more high-octane, high-tier Onward VRML action in the near future. Come October... Oh, I gotta have the date. What up? I believe it is October, 22nd and 23rd is when we begin the postseason for the VRML. And, you know, obviously we're going to have weekend broadcasts for weeks 14 and 15 of the regular season. But then I think there's a week break, and then we get into that postseason in October. Again, 22nd and 23rd. That weekend, we'll start doing giveaways live on this channel. Twitch.tv/VR Master League. And so you'll be able to enter into giveaways for products from HyperX that include headphones, keyboards, microphones, and mice. I guess just a mouse, so not multiple. But those will, I guess they will be multiple given away. But we'll be doing multiple giveaways across each weekend of postseason that starts in the 23rd, 22nd, 23rd. That'll lead us into November, where we have our finals, but then also the beginning of the Echo Arena postseason, where we will continue to do giveaways on this channel. And so there's going to be a lot of opportunities to get your hands on some free products coming up in the month of October and November. We're dubbing that the Fall Fest, and you are going to want to be there, and you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be good games, too, on top of that, so... regardless of if you win something or not, you are going to be watching some good quality Onward. I mean, dang, we've seen some crazy matchups so far in this week and last. You know, you think about that boss fight matchup that went all... Oh, how many rounds was it? Yeah, the maximum amount of rounds it could be. Do the math quickly. 7, 14, 21 rounds played. It was a crazy match. And actually lost another one from Disoriental Elitex, so I do again apologize for the stalling, as we are just waiting to get into start of this round one, but both teams working to get their players in order before we do begin that action. It does give me a moment to also shout out our sponsors. Take a look over across the screen. You'll see them rotating through. Those sponsors include VR Cover, which offer fantastic comfort options for any of your VR headsets that greatly enhances comfort, and that means that you can play in that headset longer. So it's almost a must-buy if you want to get really practiced and better at the game. If you want to be playing Onward for what could be, in the case of that 21-round game, 3 hours, you're going to want to be comfortable. So get the VR Cover. We also have ProTube VR, which offers fantastic mount options for any of your VR controllers, where you can help stabilize your aim in any of your favorite VR shooters. Obviously, Onward, one of them. It'll greatly help with your sniping stability and I guess any really mid to long range engagements. It also is pretty maneuverable, and so not necessarily a disadvantage at close ranges either. They have magnetic cups where you can detach the controllers to throw grenades and use utility. It's really a well honed in sort of mount system that they've designed over the course of what has been a lot of years in development. They've been a VRML sponsor since almost the beginning of VRML, and so they've really had a lot of time to hone in on a good system that works well in a competitive space. And so ProTube VR is an easy recommendation. We also have Asterion, which offer fantastic mounts, LED mounts with charging ports built in, and great mats that really kind of help identify your play space when you're playing. And so it's kind of a creative tool to utilize, where you can feel on your floor when you're at the edge of your mat that maybe you're closer to a wall than you should be. You can go back into the center of the mat, and so it's kind of a nice tool if you have a limited play space and you're not playing in a warehouse. And so I would recommend go checking them out. I think they're unfortunately sold out on mats right now, so You are going to have to maybe keep the eyes peeled for when they are back in stock. But we are back in, well, not back into it, but we are going into the action here for round number 1. Now, you've waited long enough. Both teams are in lobby and full. On Rome, we have Gladiator, Mr. Krabby, Mad Outdoors, Laureen, and Tabella. And over on Disorient Elite X, we have Shadow, Rush, Fathead, Data, and Oxygen. I think those are the usual suspects. We're going to get an early smoke play here from Rome. Looks like they're going to go in for an aggressive entry point out the gate. Blind fire through the smokes does net a couple of kills, but now Mr. Krabby is pushed up and is very close to the objective as they fly through the cargo crate. They kill one. Oxygen manages to scoop up that kill. Laureen and Tabella are deep in the smokes, dumping rounds out, trying to get through what is the shadow edge on the outside, and Tabella does finally catch the kill. Matt still down in Resible. We're into a 1v2. Oxygen is on objective. Where's the other defender? There they are. Fathead on a rotation. 40 seconds off the clock. Round 1 in the books. If I had rambled on any longer, we would have missed a full round, but good thing I was paying attention and we dived in time. Disorient Elite X. Take round 1 with some aggressive defense. I like that counter swing on the defense there. I think that was Fathead. They end up rotating down tunnel, coming out of tunnel and then hitting that flank. Really nicely done there. Confident because that leaves them away from objective for a long time. And so really kind of fortunate that that play doesn't go a bit of a different way, and that if anything, that gunfire through the smoke that caught 2 really saved them. You know, if there wasn't just that dump of a mag through the smoke, it could have been a very different story for the likes of the Disorient Elite X defense. But go back into the action. Very little time between rounds. These teams know the map. They know the objective. They know what they're trying to do here in these rounds, at least in these early ones. As we go into it, Rome now on the defense. Let's see how Disorient Elite X is going to be handling this push, and if we get a similar sort of aggression. Well, definitely not. Still trying to swap ammo there. If anything, they're trying to play that counter aggression. Not trying to push up too early. Throwing a bit of a different timing at it, if anything. They might push up in the next 30 or so seconds. Yeah, just a bit of a different timing, not pushing in right away, but still pushing in pretty quick. Early shots coming in. Laureen definitely getting pressured from multiple sides. Swings out, finds Data. Rush is looking for that corner peek, but isn't going to quite find it. Oh, there it is. Rush ends up trading down. Oxygen and Matt end up trading down. We're into a 1v3. Tabella, the lone defender for Rome here. Disorient Elite X looking at an opportunity to potentially cap if they can push up close enough. Oxygen certainly considering it. The smoke and flash come in. And Shadow does go down to Tabella using a shotgun. Catches the kill. Rarely seen utilized at a competitive level, but they do go down. Oxygen is right here in the middle. Tabella's toes do get identified. The shotgun misses to the right. And Oxygen finds the kill. Disorient Elite X take a 2-0 lead out the gate. Still, though, some kills coming in from a Rome. And when you see a score disparity, I do tend to look at those ADs. See where we're at. Obviously, Disorient Elite X is looking great. That's a very clean spread. Everyone getting involved. Lots of trades, but getting involved. Rome, similarly, getting involved. 3-2-2-2-1-2, but just not as heavily. And that's, you know, it's just a matter of Gladiator and Mad Outdoors finding themselves either a couple of trades or a couple of kills here to really kind of even things back out. And maybe put Rome into a better situation. Maybe a little bit more time needed to strategize and draw up the plan as well, as we are certainly taking the full minute and a half this time between rounds. as Rome now are going to go on the attack. Their initial play for Cap didn't pay off. I wonder if they go for it again and risk giving this Oriental Elitex a 3-0 lead, or if we do see maybe a bit more of a methodical approach to the attack, where they may try and wear out this defense. We'll have to see. The telltale sign will be the utility use. How early it comes out. There's a nice start. Good kill coming in. A botch smoke, unfortunately, but a couple of good follow-up ones. And Tabella is going to be just confirming Fathead there. Gladiator comes flying forward. 1, 2, down. Shadow goes down on the edge. That's 3 for Gladiator. Can they get 4? No, the tablet comes out. Is Rush aware of this? They are. They do find the Gladiator trying to cap on objective, but they are alone in their efforts now in a 1v4. No reason to not go for the cap, but Rush really can play this, just like they did, where they are on objective, dumping rounds out, making it impossible to cap, forcing the kill. But what a turnaround on offense for Rome. Gladiator with the triple up the middle. Exactly what I'm talking about. Gladiator just needed to come alive there, find a couple of kills, and look at this. Their team's right back into it. The KDs start to branch out a little bit more, and things are looking a little bit on the brighter side for Rome. It starts like these that you do have to kind of be cautious of if you're on this Oriental Elitex's team. If anything, I feel like I see it happen more often than not. An early 2-0 out the gate gives the team a false sense of confidence. A squad like Rome is a team that's been around for a while. A team that knows and understands the game and is certainly confident enough to bounce back from some early point losses. They know the volatility of the scoring in a game like Onward, and how quickly you can shift a 2-0 advantage, or really any advantage. And so it means that even with the 2-0 lead, this Oriental Elitex have to be cautious, and maybe they just weren't ready for that kind of aggression, but I don't think anyone could have been, with Gladiator just barreling down the midfield there, catching those kills. Very nicely done, and I do wonder what this Oriental Elitex's strategy will look like for the offense. Maybe some counter aggression. That's certainly going to be an equivalently good start for this Oriental Elitex, as they do catch an early kill, and some early snap flashes and utility deployed here by Loreen to get them up and forward. But now they're caught into a bit of an awkward position as their teammates are dying on the edges, and they certainly are holding up this offense for now. That nade comes in and does catch Loreen. Very nicely tossed from Data. Where's the rest of this defense? It's just Mad Outdoors. Rome tried to throw aggression at this Oriental Elitex, and they seem to be ready for it. Now Matt finds themselves alone, is going to throw themselves at the remaining offense, and with 3 left alive, an equivalently good offensive round for DE gets them a 2-point lead back in order, puts them at map points here on Rome's map pick of all things. And so we are just seeing confidence here on display, in my opinion. To play like this, it just takes confidence. Confidence in your ability to play fast, that triple kill from Gladiator, but also confidence in your team to play fast, and for your team to be able to recognize, if I go down on this early aggression, there's going to be a big gap opened up that team is going to need to cover. So far, caps haven't come through because players have recognized when there is those gaps, or they've just been at the right place at the right time. Either way, both teams are playing well under this chaotic speed. I mean, we haven't gotten into a round that's gone past maybe a minute and a half, it feels like. We really do just kind of cruise through this cargo series here. The new objective, not really, I mean, if anything, I think we're going to continue to see this kind of wild aggression. But Rome now are sort of on the back foot here, where they can't afford to lose a round, or they will lose map 1. Neither team wants to lose here, as you do want to be advancing on to that, up in the ladder in these final weeks of regular season for that chance to get into that postseason. And if anything, it seems like a focused Rome. No jokes, no laughs. Just, all right, let's go. Smoke's coming in. They may be going for the cap regardless of the pressure, regardless of the risk reward it has. Data goes down. A nice trade there. A valuable trade to get Krabby up into the middle. Another kill on that backside. Great from Laureen. And Krabby's deep in smokes. Where is the coverage on objective? It doesn't look like it's here. Matt Outdoors is tablet out. If they can get the code in, they get themselves 2 points. Fathead's in a vital position where they catch Matt Outdoors trying to push up for the cap. Mr. Krabby's looking for more on the sides. Can they find it? Laureen goes down. Big kills from Fathead, shutting down the rotations here. Krabby could push up to the objective. Utility and smokes are coming in. Fathead is rotating. We're into a 1v1. Krabby's going to rotate around where Shadow is going to be able to identify this. Krabby has to confirm. And now Fathead rotating out of these smokes with knowledge of Krabby's position. How does Krabby play this? It's almost an odd reversal of positioning where, yeah, Rome is on defense and Destroyer and Elitex on the attack with Fathead pushing in through the middle. They'll find the final kill. They'll clutch the final round of map number 1 and take the map 4-1. Chaos, but fun to watch. These two teams, very much the same style of play. Aggression, close quarters, let's duke it out. Neither of them giving up or giving in on those strategies, and Rome ultimately not able to get that cap. So close, but Fathead's position not smoked out. They were tucked into the corner, looking out onto that objective. They just had the right angle to catch the ankles there, and man, that almost was 3-3. But instead, it's 4-1. That's the risk of going for the cap right there. And instead of pushing this to 3-2 and trying to maybe defend and go that route. Very quick cargo, though. Takes us now to map 2, which is going to be Desorian Elitex's pick, as they are the away team. They are going to pick into Suburbia. Suburbia, much like cargo for Rome, is an interesting choice in that Rome are pretty good on Suburbia. You know, this being Disoriented Elitex's pick, wonder why, actually. Because you look at Rome, they're 4-4 on Suburbia so far this season. 11-6 in comparison for Disoriented Elitex. Really doesn't seem like the right map pick. But we'll see. Going obviously into comfort over avoiding picking into a strength of the opponent. Maybe, if anything, assessing that Rome hasn't played it a lot, and so there might be a lack of comfort in comparison to the 12 times that Disoriented Elitex has played it. The 4 that Rome has. They've won it all 4 times, though, so they've got about as many wins as Disoriented Elitex does on the map. We'll have to see how this goes. It's the one map they have 100% win rate on this season. Okay, let's go look. There's a lot of history for the Rome. We can go all the way down to season 6 if we wanted to. Obviously, the roster's changed as well. 4-3 last season. I don't know. Seems like a risk. Seems like a risky pick, but both teams are in and ready to go. I'm not seeing any subs come in on either side. Maybe Shadow and Rush, were they in for Disoriented Elitex? Maybe some subs there on the DE side. Go into round 1. DE on the attack. Rome defending. Oh, and look at that early 1-2 aggression. Oxygen does catch out Gladiator up the middle. Laureen trying to fly through on the edge with a nade there, almost catching them. They're going to continue to push forward, and Rome are really throwing aggression at aggression. A trade there between Oxygen up the middle puts things down into a 3v3. And now Krabby trying to push up for the res gets caught out. Data finds themselves a kill and a confirm. Rome's down to 2. DE 3 alive. That Outdoors and Tabella certainly set up into some good positions. The objective actually over by Burning Building. You would think it would be mid-house with the kind of aggression we've seen here, but it's over by Tabella. We are fighting. Tabella with a vital pickup. Catches Shadow between the Heskos. Huge kill. Mad Outdoors looking for a little something here inside two-story. As Data does find the kill onto Tabella. Mad Outdoors now alone. Tries to fly the corner. Doesn't see anyone. Data's rotating and avoiding this swing from Matt. As Matt now does set up into a pretty nice spot. If Data does go for the cap, they should be able to catch them out here. Oh no, and a team kill! Coming in from Rush. Matt now aware of this position, and they're going to catch Rush out in the open. Rush swings and hits the kill. Matt doesn't hit the shots. Oh my goodness, Rush. Clutching it up off of a team kill, no less. That would have been Rome getting handed the round. But no. Oof. Now, I am just looking at this Rome roster. It is vastly different, at least if they names. Or excuse me, player names. A couple unfamiliar faces there. I wonder if that's impacting what we're seeing here this afternoon. Either way, I don't know. I guess not, because Rome still do look good. They've been certainly competing up against this Dorian Elitex team toe-to-toe every round. You know, they've put up great... the round they won on Marsoc was so clean. They're just going for the risky plays. And sometimes that pays off. If it continues to fail, I do think there's reason to shift the strategy. We'll have to see if Rome ends up doing that, but let's see. We will see right now. To get into it with Rome on the attack, do they continue to put their foot on the gas, look for the cap, go for smokes, go for the glory? Do we see a little bit more of a conservative push here? No pre-fire from either side, interestingly enough. Early smokes, though. Mad Outdoors with 3 in their hands. That means they had 1 in hand, 2 on chest. M203 comes out as well. It's a perfect smoke blind. They've got it set up here. 2 go down, and some good blind fire through the smoke catches the cap attempter. Cap attempt. Data continues to dump rounds through, and so vital. Another tablet comes out. Do they continue to put rounds into this smoke? They do, and it continues to pay off. Oxygen and Data just dumping their mags, reloading and dumping their mags into this smoke, buying enough time to where the smoke ends up dissipating. And now some rotations can come through. Tabella here gonna get flanked. They might indeed. Fathead's behind them here. Tabella's got tablet in hand. Fathead doesn't check the corner. Tabella gets their gun up in time. And now here, Data on OBJ. And it's a 2v2 with Loreen rotating. Nice rotation from Loreen. Catches the kill. Puts him at Rick's. Oxygen almost catches a 1-2. As Loreen rotates behind. Now they know where the final defender is. Do they have an accurate kill count? Oxygen's looking here for this swing in particular. A great read from Oxygen, as now Loreen has to dive back into cover. And let's see if Loreen continues to go into the reading hands of Oxygen here, who's so far predicted well of how Loreen's going to be challenging them. And I think it's wise for them to rotate off of that park position. How do they catch Oxygen is the question, and it has to be kind of a mistake from Oxygen to be peeking out enough to expose themselves through the second window where I think Loreen could catch the kill. Oh, and almost Oxygen. Loreen there saying that their hands are shaking as they missed that shot onto Oxygen. And do they see the Oxygen's head there in the doorway? It doesn't look like they see Oxygen on the rotation. You're up on the bottom floor. Yeah, they missed Oxygen getting down the stairs and getting up into that front patio. This could end up impacting this rotation. As Oxygen does catch them out in the gap, but great job from DE. The pressure a little too much. 2-0 on map 2. Again, this Rome team absolutely battling for these round wins, but they just can't quite lock it in at the end. Just now taking a look at some folks hanging out in chat. Do appreciate everyone stopping by and enjoying the action here this afternoon. Whether you're on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, or Horizon Venues, we do appreciate you stopping in and enjoying this action. If you don't know what Venues is, it's an app you can download on your Quest or Quest 2 for free, and you can watch this stream live in a movie theater size, on a movie theater size screen. In a space with other people enjoying the action. It's kind of a cool way to socialize and watch VR esports. I would recommend checking it out. We check out round number 3 and see if Rome can get a point on the board here. Put a bandage on this bleed that has been a 6-1 lead now for Disorient Elitex. That's maybe going to be the start with 1 kill coming in, a trade there. Gladiator, though, set up and into a nice aggressive position. May well be able to catch Shadow out if they're not too careful. Oxygen also approaching here. In a very forward position. And wonder if they pick the tight corner. They do, and they catch Gladiator. Not ready for that tight corner. Gladiator really tunneling in on where Shadow could have been up that mid lane. And Oxygen continues to hunt for any more kills. Krabby does scoop up Shadow on the edge, and now things not looking so good for DE. Oxygen may be able to find a flank here. But there is Tabella on that alternate side, and they do have Loreen also looking out that window. Yeah, and a smoke does come out towards objective from Oxygen. Shots do come in there from Tabella down towards Oxygen's position. Loreen trying to find a piece. Rush does get Krabby on the APC side. They tunnel too hard here onto Oxygen. It could be bad news as Rush almost spots Loreen there out the window. Sees these rotations but doesn't take the shots until they have a full accurate. And open killing shot here. As Loreen does see Oxygen try and rotate up to the tank. They'll catch that kill with half a mag. Again, commenting on the aim. They got the kill, and they're still alive here in a 2v1. And I spoke too soon. Rush scoops up a nice headshot through the window. A 1v1 now, and again a 1v1. I feel like we've seen this time and time again. We'll have to see how Tabella tries to defend this. Maybe even a cap. Oh no, maybe a cap. Oh no, that would be worst case scenario. Oh, they could tuck in right here. Oh dear. Disorient Elitex are going to take map number 2 with Rush rotating behind Tabella to punch in this code. Tabella's not going to swing back onto the backside here. And I wonder if Rush is ever going to get this code in. Right now, Rush is punching in 7-digit code onto their tablet. And they get it. Tabella didn't see Rush cross. Ships passed in the wind. And DE take map 2 off of a cap and take it 4-0. That one stings a little bit if you're Rome, especially looking at these KDs where they are coming alive. 4-3, 3-3, 2-2. Everyone with at least a kill. They don't get a single round for their troubles. Whew. Tough pill to swallow if you are on the Rome squad. And now DE go in with a lot of momentum into Rome's second map pick of the afternoon, Quarantine. For the exact maps I called out that will be played here this afternoon, I didn't think we'd be headed to an abandoned or a snow peak. I figured it would be Cargo, Suburbia, and Quarantine. And we now just sort of wait to see if any subs come in on the Disoriental Elite X side, as oftentimes you do see teams that do have kind of a commanding win like this. They'll bring in the rest of their roster to get some practice time in with the team, and you know, no better practice time than game time practice time. And you know, you can't simulate that level of pressure any other way. Scrims get you close, but you know, especially a live casted match, definitely a little bit additional pressure there. So I'm getting reports that maybe Venues isn't working or loading. It's working for some and not for others. I don't know. If it is down, though, we do apologize for that inconvenience, and well, there's plenty of other places to watch that. Live on every other platform, I suppose, except for Twitter and TikTok, but maybe we should start going live there, too. Become a TikTok esport? What do you guys think? Whatever gets the word out. maybe it will become. Anyway, we got action here. Map 3 always gets played out. You might be wondering, why are we doing this? Well, even though Disoriental Elite X has won the series, we still play out map number 3 because the rounds won matter. So if Rome can get a couple of points here on the board, bounce back from what was a rough maps 1 and 2, then maybe they will go down in rank less. Disoriental Elite X, to the counterpoint, want to win as many rounds as they can, so they can continue to pile on and potentially eliminate Rome 4-0 here. It's going to maximize the amount of points that they will gain and how many points they will go up in rank. And so it's it still matters. Teams do still play out map 3 pretty competitively, even when a series locked in. Let's see how well it goes for Rome, though, as they do stick to that aggressive play style. That area goes down and is confirmed. Fathead with a nice little peek up out of the out of that hole, as now Matt also goes down with Shadow getting aggressive in the south. Over-aggression can end up really negatively impacting a team, and Oxygen here very far away from objective, but may be able to set themselves up for an angle or two onto this offense, the backs of the offense no less. That's Shadow confirming Matt outdoors. Gabby is hearing these footsteps above them, and as they check their tablet, they recognize that it is not a teammate that's up above them. And so that means those footsteps have to be of an enemy. And in that effort for Mr. Cabby to find Oxygen, they end up putting themselves way out in the open. We do have Lori, who's made it past this defensive line. And so we might want to follow on board there. That's essentially a 1v2, as we do have a battle in the midfield. Tabella doing a great job of drawing the mid line's attention. You know, you have rotations like this coming in from Shadow, where they're really feeling confident and getting aggressive on defense. Even Data pushing up here. No one is actually watching objective now. And Loreen has made it past this defense. If they just stay quiet and push forward, it's an open cap. An open and free cap. Hard to play into that pace, though, and commit to it. But they are. Oh, but they are. Is there any lines here watching? Data's rotating back to the objective. And now everyone is crashing back as a nade comes up and over. A great nade from Data that catches Laureen out. What a great read on the footsteps there. If Laureen had been 3 seconds faster and committed to a cap attempt, they had it free. But why would you even think that that's an option when you're attacking and you've lost your entire team? You know, only we have the perspective where we see, you know, that top down and know of these positions. Yeah. Close, but no cigar there. As the Soriano Elite X put another point on the board, and we go right back into the action. No delay here between rounds. Rome certainly feeling, I would say, a little, maybe not necessarily tilted, but definitely down off of what has been a very powerful performance from Soriano Elite X. 9-1 on the scoreline. And again, with rounds that are so close, to continuously lose those close rounds, it's just a hard pill to swallow. I mean, even the rounds that aren't close, with 4 left alive on DE, they almost have a cap. You know, every round, Rome was right there, potentially able to secure it, and couldn't get it. And that ends up kind of, mentally impacting you as a player and a team, where you just have to wonder, what is the right thing to do? How can we get through? I had lasers on all series and no one's complained, which I'm shocked about. Do apologize though. Yeah, I did turn them on, they just turned themselves off. Either way, maybe the angle is a little bit better of where players are looking. And a very different defensive style here from Rome, where they're not continuing to lean into that aggression. Although Matt certainly is pushed up forward. Data up there on that second floor. Maybe, I guess technically third. Nice kill there onto DE2 actually coming through for Rome. The less aggressive defensive setup paying off. Recognizing that they don't want to just throw away what would be so many points. Another good pickup there. Patient coming in from Rome as they do catch out that kill. Gladiator may be able to get rush. As it looks like Mr. Cabby is taking shots. Either towards rush or out towards Shadow, who has now gotten up onto Mr. Cabby's platform here, is in the second floor. Trade there. Leaves us in a 4v1. With Rush, they were so slowly working their way up to the objective, and this kind of feels familiar. One player working their way through an entire defense. Now this rotation. Looks like they're memorizing the code. And yeah, prone your way up to the objective. There's a cap. Oh no. Laureen is going to see this though. Thankfully, Laureen spots it. They'll catch that winning kill and maybe redeem themselves from their past misses. Either way, a nice kill there, and Rome gets on the board, and Quarantine ties things up one apiece. Doesn't let this one get out of hand quite yet. It's good quality Onward here this afternoon, really. That's what we're tuning in for, and I'm happy that we have been catching it here. Very quick, obviously. You know, when we compare styles here this afternoon, we may be done with map 3 before we were finished with map 1 and the EU venue showcase yesterday. Or actually, that was the NA showcase. What a reversal in styles, isn't it? I mean, you think, I mean, maybe not for everyone else that plays the game. You know, this season in particular, even you go to season 12 and 13 and 11, even as late as even 10, I guess. But there were for many seasons there was the notion that NA played fast and aggressive, and EU played methodical, and some would say slow. But I stopped using that word, as I think methodical is a better approach because there is purpose in that strategy of taking your time. But historically, it was the EU side that would do this, and as simply not what we have been seeing here this afternoon. As, again, we might be done with map 3 in this EU showcase before we got done with map 1 in the NA.
Reload your weapon.
Looks like Rome are actually going to dive into a 4v5 too. Had a disconnect. Maybe they couldn't stay, or just didn't want to bother with the timeout to get their 5th reconnected. I don't know. But it's a 4v5, and DE, as we heard at the start of the round saying, let's wrap this up, very much has that an extra bit of confidence now. Data going to be holding a key angle here. Loreen flies past it. Data does miss the shots. Loreen almost snapping too and catching the headshot, but can't quite. Tabella gets the aggression from Fathead down. Botched Molotov. And some utility comes in. That's a pretty decent nade. Doesn't quite go far enough to get that outdoors. Loreen goes up to the 2nd floor, and Data is going to be looking for that pop out from Matt. Oh, and they hear Loreen around them. Definitely getting surrounded here by this offense. Wonder if they know Data's tucked in here, though. Definitely tough to quickly identify, although you can kind of see the bulge from out the wall. Rush shutting down Gladiator, trying to swing south. Can't quite get to Bella, though.
Hospital is down.
Rome finding the kills they need. Oh no, as Data misses on to Loreen. There's going to be the trail. Oh no, Matt Outdoors actually catches the kill. Not before Loreen goes down, but now DE is down to 1. The 4v5 for Rome actually pretty good here. Now Oxygen has to hold all of this alone, and they recognize it as they check tablet. They know they're the last one to standing. Oh, they're going to be pretty focused on Tabella here as Matt rotates around the flank. Yeah, Oxygen definitely not going to be ready for Matt on the edge here. I wonder if they go for a cap. I don't feel like Matt's going to be able to get an easy cap. Oh, and Tabella actually is the one that finds the shots over the rubble. Rome goes up 2-1. Maybe 4v5 was the trick for them. Either that or DE is just getting a little bit overconfident on map number 3 here. And they do have such a good lead right now, 9-3 overall on the scoreline. But if they let Rome kind of climb back into this thing, you know, 9-5, not as impressive. So they definitely need to start getting some more points on the board. Keep that score disparity they've established. And even if Rome do get these rounds, they need to battle back with rounds of their own. See how they can do that, though, as we get back into it. Again, still 4v5. Rome's still in the lead. See how DE pushes as we swap sides, stay on the same objective. Uh-oh. Looks like Data wasn't ready for the push. It's a 4v4, essentially. Data has joined. And they now also begin to push. You can see on the overhead they are moving. So back to a 5v4. Did hear some shots coming through. Gladiator. Oh, and almost a kill there from Data. Shadow now in a very powerful spot. Very big threatening spot to Gladiator, who's out in the open in this middle of the street. Look like they identified Shadow in that corner there on the top floor. They're not looking up on that top floor. Oh, Data does go down. Nice peek out from
-1.
to Bella on that top floor. Fathead almost catches the kill. Gladiator with a quick pop-up gets those. Almost gets tagged from the roof, and that may be an opportunity for the other roof shot to come through. Mad Outdoors gets a little bit aggressive. They get picked up. Oxygen finds that kill. We're into a 3v2. With Gladiator in particular getting pretty aggressive on the flank here. Rush, hearing these footsteps, seems to be aware of the presence of Gladiator. But they are so far from objective. Both... Yeah, Tabella recognizes that they actually don't have good objective coverage. They are coming back to it, trying to flash that objective as they push forward. And one is home, though. Fortunate enough for Rome. Finally, Gladiator goes down to Rush, finding those kills, and it's a 3v1. Tabella is on objective. At least they'll get killed. DE will take a round back. Oh, did I say this is E? You're right, this is NA, isn't it? I think it was E. Just because of the time zone. My apologies. Right, obviously. I guess we should change our branding of our showcases then. Can't be right 100% of the time, people. I think 98%, you know. But I make my mistakes from time to time. I think I've said some teams don't use subs when they have, and people have gotten very mad at me. But I'll own up to it. Appreciate chat keeping me honest, too. We always do. You fine folk that tune in do certainly... I do appreciate the support that I do get from you guys. Unfortunately, we're on a delay, so I get it late, but I do get it. I do get it. Well, you know, then I really started to think about it, then it does have me excited for, at the very least, the NA regionals. Because we are seeing the variety and style there on teams. Fast, slow, both in that NA region. Why did I think Rome was on the EU side? I don't know. Weird. Shows how few games for Rome I've casted this season, so I needed to do more. But either way, we're into the action and into some early kills. Oh, see, I am getting support from Sri Lankan. Chat also helps me out too. They don't just tear me down. They did switch regions at one point, so maybe I'm not going crazy. Regardless.
Oh, that's not
Nearly getting killed there. Data throws the nade, and I thought it might have. I didn't think that's how nades. Yeah. Loreen goes down, and really just not feeling it here as shots come in from DE.
Oh my god.
Rome having a tough time pushing out here, but again, not that tough because they do find kills and trades, and you know, it's a 3v3 right now, so scoreline just telling a different story than what we're seeing here this afternoon. Ooh, and Loreen does hear those shots.
There's one behind Crash somewhere, and I don't know where he is.
And we now just wait to see how this team wants to approach. DE is nicely set up. They've got Rush up on that top floor. Oxygen there, watching the cover, watching the cross, and Shadow on the flank. He's going to catch 1 and 2. A nice transfer there from Shadow to scoop up a double, and DE take back the lead 3-2. You know, again, the scoreline's so close. It's a great series that we've stopped in for here. DE ultimately executing in those final moments better, but really fun to tune in and watch, and he continues to deliver even when Rome is looking at defeat. They are still playing pretty good here. Even when they're maybe a little less focused and locked in, they are still playing good, and just goes to show you at that top level kind of skill each individual player holds, you know. Into the action we go, though, for what could be the series point as, well, not series point, but map 3 point, as the Saurians have already won the series. They could potentially lock in the third map here as well for a total scoreline of 12-3, which would be a fantastic win for them this late in the regular season. First kill comes in from Data over the top there. Nice pickup onto Rome to kick things off. Fathead also potentially looking for some action here as they push up through the double doors. Mad Outdoors ready and waiting. Catches that kill. Very hard to ID them there, just with that peek over the top of the plane engine. Nice defense from Darrington up top. Catches one, and Rome have brought in a fifth that seems to be helping them out. Enough to at least get a kill out the gate here. Now Data is looking for some action. A nice nade there, but it's not a flash, it's a nade, and Matt pushes off of it to find the kill. DE now is down to 2. Get 1 as Oxygen trades down. It's all up to Rush in a 1v3. Got Loreen up on that top floor. Going to be hard for Rush to get past that at the end of the day, but the rest of the defense not necessarily watching this approach. Past Loreen. There's potential, but they have to move. They wait too long, they could end up getting hit from the sides. Matt or one of the other defenders. Oh no, look at how far away Gladiator is. Oh, and Laureen drops off of that angle. Rushka's going to be able to cross undetected. Laureen is pushing to the left, though. And a big, big trade. Rome finds the kill. Laureen finds the kill. And, you know, feels like they've been last in a lot of rounds, and they've clutched a couple of them. Not playing as bad as maybe they're thinking. 5-5 in particular on quarantine here. 3-3 for map 3. You certainly go the distance. Swap objectives, go to down plane. DE defend, Rome attack. And again, there's 5 now for Rome, so that 4v5 disadvantage they were playing into nullified. And again, just taking a look at the folks enjoying the action here, saying that when we were 4v5, they wanted to get in and play for Rome. We do have a reservist system, if you're not familiar, where you can dip into what is an active pool of players that have a designated of rank where they can sub for certain levels of teams, and it's a whole system that we have in place that's nice. If you do need a 5th to be brought in, you can dip into the reservist pool and look for a 5th that maybe is available at that specific time of request. And so I think that's what they must have done to get their 5th, or they dipped into their active roster. Either way, I'm not sure. I'm not looking at their roster right now. Oh, Darren Dunn, though, maybe should be on the roster as they catch another good kill. Popping up out of that hole, finding the headshot in rubble, and now DE are down to just 4. 3 on objective, 1 off. Shadow here holding up for the south approach, ready and waiting. Oh, and they're not going to catch Laureen. Are they going to catch Laureen? Yes, they do. Shots come in. Matt backs off. Confirm shots should come in from Shadow here, but they don't. Laureen does get picked up. Tries to rotate around. Shadow nearly goes down. Rush catches Darrington. Shadow's still a threat here in gas station. And is now challenging 2. Matt Outdoors and Gladiator on the short corner. They don't know Gladiator's on the short corner. That's a good nade. Doesn't get him. Shadow tucks in just enough. Matt's still alive. Another nade comes in. Gladiator's still alive. Gladiator pushing in off of the smoke. And the trade. As Shadow finds a kill. Data dumping rounds through that smoke. Just see if they can pick up another. Roamer down to 3, but so is DE. Is now Laureen. Tries to find Data and can't. Catching a couple shots to the ankle as well, as there's an all-out battle in the midfield here. Data, Matt, Laureen, Oxygen. Where is their 3rd? They need support from Tabella.
There's 2 over by the middle building.
Data catches Laureen. Almost gets Matt Outdoors on the rotation. Again, Tabella. Maybe they're trying to push up and cap underneath this defense. There's it'd be hard. Especially with Data here on the bottom floor now. as this hush comes over. They take shots. Does Tabella expose themselves? They have to now. As Rush drops down, a headshot instantly kills them. Data hears this and draws into the angle. It's now another kill comes through. Tabella survives, heals. Oxygen has to come crashing in. Rome could easily clutch this. No, Tabella. I say easily, but definitely not easily. Tabella can't quite lock it in, and now Mad Outdoors is in a 1v1. Doesn't this seem familiar? We've been in 1v1s all day today, it seems like. Map is going to be tough. We'll have to see how Oxygen is defending that. And they're not necessarily watching for the cap outside. They may be able to hear it, but if Matt's quiet, they can stealth walk up to the edge here and enter in the code outside of the plane. Matt is making audio. They hear each other. DE win the I mean, come on. Can't get it more down to the wire than that. A trade, and it goes into the hands of DE 4-3. Map 3 swept away. The final scoreline 12-4. So at the very least, Rome did put some points on the board there in that final map. But otherwise, a commanding W for this Disorient Elite X team. Definitely going to help them advance up in the ranks. Start 12th, so yeah, big win that they needed, and a big win at that. So yeah, really going to put them up in contention for that top 8 position, and what an exciting battle to tune into here this afternoon. A quick one at that, as we are done in under an hour and a half, but exciting. Quick shout out to everyone that did tune in again. I appreciate you all stopping by and hanging out. A reminder to tune in regularly on weekends here. 6 p.m. PST Saturdays, 12 p.m. PST Sundays. Giveaways starting October 22nd and 23rd on this channel. Follow it. Start watching it more often. Also, go follow Onward_VRML on Twitch, as that's where we have regular week games being broadcast and some weekend matches as well. But there's a lot of Onward out there to get. We've got some new casters that are broadcasting games, and so there's no shortage of Onward. But there is an end to Onward this afternoon, and that is it for us. My name has been Nightfire with 2 E's. Appreciate all you stopping by. Shout out to our sponsors. We've already gone over them, but you've been seeing them tick across here. Appreciate them supporting the league. Until next time, which is again Saturday at 6 p.m. PST, stay classy.